Welcome back to Keep It Local. When we're looking to lose weight, many of us say, all right, I'm going to skip the butter, I'm going to skip the oil, I'll skip the candy, but hold everything. Jenny is with Robert Ferguson right now, and he says you can have your cake and eat it too, and in fact, you're going to lose weight that way. So, Jenny, tell us a little bit about what his plan is all about.
Well, Priya, I love this man. This is my new best friend here, Robert Ferguson. Okay, so we were talking with you earlier about how we have all these misconceptions about what we should and shouldn't be eating, and you brought some examples here.
See, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is if you can keep your blood sugar levels from going too low or too high, you're in fat-burning mode. Okay. So we do that by combining the foods in the right way. So, for instance, if a person had a burger, whether it's turkey, steak, I mean, it's your choice, buffalo, fish, then the bread is a fast carb with your protein. Have that with a salad, and that's a fat loss plate. Okay, really? Where we go wrong is when you have the burger with the fries.
Okay, then so you don't have the burger and the fries.
Exactly, unless you want to cut the portions in half. So like well, half the amount of fries with like maybe one of the buns. Or maybe take the buns out.
I was going to say, can you take the buns out and then have fries?
And go with like a lettuce wrap and then have your fries, and then everything works out great.
And what about the ranch dressing on the...
Well, the ranch dressing, I mean, obviously, if you dump the whole bottle on there, you're going to gain some body fat.
Say the whole bottle.
But, you know, there's ways to make the dressing work. So there's low-fat versions of ranch. And then if you're going to go with a heavy-fat ranch, then don't use as much, and that's a fat loss plate. Okay. So you can still have your cheese, and then you got your basic Mexican dish. So your tortillas is your fast carb. And then it's filled with your protein. Right. And then you have that with a salad. It's the same as, say, a burger. It's just that you're not combining too many carbs at one point. That's going to cause you to go into fat storing mode.
And it looks like it has a lot of stuff in it, like the cheese and everything, but that's okay.
Slow carbs, avocado, healthy fats. I mean, it works out great.
And are these typical, like, portions that you would get at a restaurant? Because isn't that the big problem a lot of times?
Yeah.
Is the bigger...
That's the sad part. It's like, if you went back 20 years ago, you know, the average plate was 10 inches. So 8 to 10 inches. Now we're looking at 13 inches. So, you know, you got to add more to it. But the reality is, once you understand how to compare, say, like a burger to the size of the palm of my hand, but no thicker, then that is a proper portion size, and you're in fat-burning mode. Okay. And you're eating great.
Well, I like that. Okay, so what is this right here?
This is just a basic salad, and I threw a little bit of chicken, because this right here could go along with this little salad, or you could eat this salad with this burger, and you're still in fat-burning mode. Okay. So a large, say, 7-ounce thing of salad like this is only 30 calories. Right. So have a huge salad with your burger, and you're going to have the satiety where you're not going to feel like you're hungry, and it's going to hold you over, and you're in fat-burning mode. And that is the key. So is it the calorie count? Is it the fat? I mean, what is the most important thing that you're... Is it kind of everything? Well, calories, nobody likes to count calories. Yeah. So I have a master's in counseling psychology. So my whole thing was, I don't want to introduce people to restriction or deprivation. I like you. Because once you do that, then eventually, like Adam and Eve, you're going to go against the grain. Of course. Okay, did I get that? So the goal is, if you portion out, say, that burger the size of your palm, or if you went with like a leaner piece of fish or turkey or chicken, you can go from the heel of your palm up to the top of your first knuckle, no thicker than the hand, and that's your protein. You're talking about size-wise? Yes. Yeah, okay. And then the calories automatically come with that, and you're in a really good area, and so it works out. Okay, so what's this rest? This is like a typical diet plate. Okay. Okay, now some people prefer that type of plate. And if you're still combining your slow carbs with your protein, that right there is a fat loss plate, and you still have room for a salad. Okay, that's a type of fish, and that's the type of fish right there. That's halibut, local, and we got it with some fibrous veggies there with the broccoli. Okay. And let's say if you didn't want to have a fast carb like bread, you could actually throw in a glass of wine, and everything works out fine. Oh, well. And you're going to get leaner. Even better. Okay. Or you actually could have room for your dessert. And this would be your fast carb. You get your slow carb, you have your protein, and you just created a fat loss plate. Well, what about having a glass of wine and just that? Well, that's where you get into that. That's where we start to mess so we need to throw some of this in. Right. Okay. Or unless you allowed at least 2 hours to go by, and then you had this as a snack. Yeah. So then the wine with your meal, actually, whenever a woman drinks wine with her meal, she is more likely to drop weight compared to a man who does it. I hope my husband is listening, because I like to have a glass of wine, and he doesn't understand why I like a glass of
wine with every meal.
A glass of wine is great. I mean, there's a lot of antioxidants that come with the wine. That with a little bit of dark chocolate, and everything's good.
You actually say it's better to have the two of those together than to have them separate, right?
Exactly. So when you have a glass of wine, and let's say you don't go with, say, a piece of cheese or chocolate, then you're going to go for maybe something that's salty or some nuts. And you're not going to stop at a little, you're going to eat quite a bit. Whereas if you went with, say, a high cocoa content type of dark chocolate, like the wine, the darker the chocolate or the cocoa content, the better the wine. Okay, so it's kind of like one of those things where the fat is going to satiate you and you're less likely to overindulge.
Okay.
And then we have like a traditional meal right here where we have a steak, we have a slow carb, and then we have a fast carb. All of these potatoes are absolutely fabulous. I had them right before the show.
Yeah, they look good.
And one of the things that people don't realize is that when you add butter to the potato, the fat in the butter will slow down how fast the potato becomes sugar in the blood. So this is ideal for diabetics or anyone who doesn't want their blood sugar levels to go up too high. So again, we're keeping blood sugar levels even, and you're in fat burning mode.
And you're talking about butter, not margarine, or either or.
You can go with butter. I wouldn't recommend margarine, but I would recommend some of the healthier alternatives like Smart Balance, Earth Balance. But if you add the fat, then you get a better glycemic effect as far as on your blood sugar.
Okay, and this is all normal food. This isn't like some sort of like prepackaged.
No,
this is stuff you got at like what, local restaurants when you got into town?
Local restaurant, could be at my house, could be at anyone's house. You want to use and eat the foods that you're most comfortable with.
Okay, cool. And so we have a link to your website on our website, koin6firsttime.com. Yeah, thanks so much for coming in.
Well, thank you.
I love all the tips. Priya, what do you think? Do you have it all set now?
I think I've got it figured out. So smaller portions, which we hear often, but then the interesting part here, I think, with Robert was fast carb, slow carb, and a protein at every meal.
You're smart. Yeah.
I'm listening. I'm taking notes because this is fabulous information. All right, Jenny, thanks. Well, you know, it takes both eating healthy